What's up, guys? So there are gonna be a bunch of changes going on to this game. Definitely have to be talked about and acknowledged. Some being good and some being pretty bad. But the one thing I wanted to address before that is Bleach Brave Souls got their guild systems. For those of you who do play the game, and if you are looking for a group to join, here's mine. You can also just ask us in the Discord. If you're in there, just pretty much search the group and we'll accept your applications. That's for the Bleach Brave Souls side of things. But let's just go with the bad and then the good, because I rather save the good for after the bad. But if you play on the European servers or the French side, you are witnessing the changes already. On the US side, we do not have these changes yet, and hope we don't get them at all. But so the most important change is the prices are finally being updated with the equipments. Now the European side already got the different prices, so the US side, it's only gonna be a matter of time before we get the update. I'm surprised we didn't get it at the same time, but it's not good. Okay, we thought it was just gonna be a price deduction for the high tier sets, and the price cost for low tiers went up. So for the European side and us, pretty shortly. I assume we're gonna get this within like a week's time. I don't see us avoiding this. But low tier stuff is gonna cost more. High tier stuff is gonna end up going down. But that's not all. That's really not all. We thought it was just gonna be a price change, but they really ended up screwing everything up. So here you see a post which shows you the sets alongside their stats with set bonuses. You have stats per gear piece as well as the set bonus in total. The red color means it went down or there's a bad change. Pretty much means for equipments the stats went down. For prices the prices went up. Now for green it means the stats went up. And for prices, it means it went down. So let's look at Aquarius set. So nothing really changed except for the set bonus. The strength of wisdom that a set would give you ended up going from 7,900 in total to 9,000, which is a good change. Aquarius sets give more BP. Nice. Firelord set, it ended up getting rounded up. So the armors, the chest piece, and the headband end up giving a one more defense bonus because they just want to round it up to 2,360, and the set bonus as well went up from 8,700 to 9,900. Nice. Okay, we're still in the good zone. Then you have the dark set. It didn't have any kind of stat changes, but the set bonus as well went from strength of wisdom being 9,600 to 10,890. Blaze, now here we have no stat change again, but then strength and wisdom goes up from 11,000 to 12,524. Everything looks good so far. Then you get down to these bottom sets. Azure set, it lost a bunch of stats. It's not significant, I guess. You're still gonna lose battle power, but the stats slightly went down, maybe at like a 3% at most, or maybe like even like a 2-3% drop as far as power goes with Azure sets. But the strength and wisdom also went up from 12,800 to 14,402. And you also lose 1% from speed and damage immunity. So it's like, it is just 1%, but we did not know that they were gonna like lower stats on sets individually, or even raise them. Or if anything, they could have raised them because they have 3 new high tiers, but they decide to lower sets. Then we have to the nether sets, which they took a lot. I think they probably lost 5% of their total stats. I'm estimating percentages. I'm not good with numbers, but I assume it's like a 5% drop from battle power from Azure sets. And then you also have yourself the speed going from 18% to 16%, and damage rate and immunity going from 28% to 25%. So you're losing quite a bit. We got a quite downgrade for nether sets. And the strength and wisdom bonus went up from 15,400 to 16,562. And then the worst part. Wind Chasers ended up getting a nice price discount. So instead of being like 13,000 Asachi to get, a full set cost you around 9,000 now. But at a huge cost. They have almost shit on these sets by like almost, I think, like 20%. It's almost like 1/3. It almost lost a third of its stats. It went from having almost 7k armor to having 5k. I mean, like, it's almost like a 30% nerf on Wind Chasers alone. It's ridiculous, and that's stat-wise. I mean, weapon, you have 2k less physical attack, which that alone can scale. You have almost 3k physical attack less, 3k speed less, almost 9k stamina less. Do you guys have to see how much this adds up? And the problem with this is people on the EU side that have these sets, especially Azures, Nethers, and Wind Chasers, which are pretty much the most common sets for, like, most top-end players will have at least one Wind Chaser, and probably Nethers and Azures mixed in between. So a lot of people were losing between 3 to 500k battle power when the change hit. I only have 2 Nether sets and I was working for Wind Chasers, but now I'm just like, wow, the set is better than Nether still, but it's just like wow. And it gets even worse when you reach the Wind Chasers set bonuses. So the Wind Chaser was given 35% damage rate and immunity, and ended up being 28%. So it ended up being what Nether set used to be. Then speed went from 23% to 19%, just one above what Nether used to be as well. And then the strength and wisdom set bonus went down from 23,000 to 20,000. I mean, at the price difference of 3k, like almost 4k Asachi, they almost cut, at least, if not 1/3 of a set's potential, to like 1/4. It really lost a lot of stats, and it just became a lot less effective. Now, it is still better than Nether. You know, if you're gonna have to get Wind Chasers regardless, if you ever reach that point. But wow, this just screwed a lot of people who had Wind Chaser sets. We do have the new tier sets. I don't think anyone has mentioned the stats on those because I don't know if they're live on our version yet, or if anyone has them on the EU side. All I know is that the price changes as well as the stats should be on the EU side, and the US side will probably get those. But I don't know, I don't know what Go Games was thinking. Like, why would you give us a price discount and shit on most of the sets that people are gonna have? Like, most players will focus on the low tier. They won't really get to the high tier. So the fact that they screwed Azure and Nether, but then they super screwed Wind Chaser, I don't know. That's just beyond disappointing. But that's live on the EU side. If you're on the US side, we can only expect it to happen sooner or later, probably within a week's time. But it's really disappointing. Like, wow, I'm not looking forward to the price changes. You know, I'm pretty sure most of us would rather go back to the old prices, just if we can keep the stats. So I don't know what Go Games is gonna do, but you can see a lot of people on the forums are complaining because of the power drops. I would be complaining too, because if the sets end up getting nerfed, I'd probably go from like 8.3 million BP to maybe like 8.1. I might lose like 200k power, maybe 100k power even. So nobody likes to lose power, especially when we're spending money into this game and we get screwed like that. So I can only imagine if they rebalance the high tier sets as well, since they're making changes to Wind Chasers, or they're just going to keep that the way it is. But if anything, I would rather go back to the old prices, because the low tier cost is a lot better. Now it costs you way more to get a Wind Chaser set from an Aquarius set, and you're getting less stats than a Wind Chaser used to give. So it's really bad. Really freaking bad. But then, moving on to good news. So it's good news because the Byakuya partner is finally coming out and is announced fully. So we know what he does. And Raiten posted this in the forums. So let's look at him. And he is fucking broken. Like, that is the first thing you should realize. So, agility-wise, 7.2 growth rate. Wisdom, 6.8 growth rate. His base agility is 8,000. His wisdom is also 7,800. And he has a passive of 35% agility, 30% wisdom, and naturally has 20% avoid injury rate. So, I'm pretty sure he'll be the fastest partner in the game. The only way he'd be the fastest partner in the game is if he's confirmed to have a speed bond, which I don't think the bonds were listed, and I'm not aware of them while I'm making this video. So if he has a speed bond, he will be the fastest partner in the game. He also seems to have maybe the highest damage. I don't know if there's anyone who has a higher keto growth rate than him, but it seems like he might have the highest wisdom damage as well. I'll be looking at my Kokuto and Toshiro just to make sure of all this. But let's see. So Toshiro, he has 7 agility flat and 6.8 wisdom. So he's tied with Toshiro for the wisdom. But I think he has higher base stat for wisdom than Toshiro does. And Toshiro ends up having a 25% speed modification with a 10% bond. So if you don't take into his negative speed halo, it would pretty much mean that Byakuya could have like the same speed. If not, yeah, it would have the same speed without the negative speed halo. Then you have Kokuto with a 7 agility and 6.5 wisdom. And he has himself a 28% speed modification. So, and Kokuto does not have any speed bond either. So, looking at Byakuya already, he seems to be tied for the highest damage as a support, and probably being the fastest, if not like right behind Toshiro or something like that. But there's a lot more to that. And let's just first pay attention to Toshiro's growth rate on his skill. I need to find out what it is without it being cut off. So Toshiro hits 100% growth rate. I know you guys can't see the game, but I'm looking for it and just reading it. So Toshiro has a 100% growth rate on his skill. Byakuya has 200% growth rate on his skill. Now, Kokuto has also 200%, so though he has slightly lower wisdom. So I still think Byakuya would be doing the most damage in the game. But this is where it gets crazy. He increases his Assaulter's Fury by 100 points, speed by 40%, and block rate by 30% for 2 rounds, while generating a shield by 50% for Assaulters and increase his own Fury by 50. My God. If they don't stop enforcing this Assaulter meta, they just made a way to have Hell vs. Ichigo and Mukin hit way harder than anything else. Now, the boost that he ends up giving Assaulters is probably as much as like even like the modifications go. Which you have to look down towards the modifications to see that he boosts Assaulter's attack. So you have Assaulters getting Fury, 100 Fury, so they will be able to T1. Not even like 50 Fury or whatever like Shinemu was giving if she crit. But Assaulters Fury, boosting their speed, boosting their block rate, giving them a shield, which is like 50% of either his stamina or I don't know how they calculate shields. But the 50% shield is pretty strong. And he increases his own Fury. Plus, he will have a 100% chance to increase Assaulter's attack by 50% for 2 rounds after Byakuya attacks. Which he'll be your first position. He'll be your fastest person to go. He'll go first and instantly make your Assaulters super fast and super strong. Ridiculous! Like, this is the Assaulter meta. Do they not realize that you're not supposed to keep breaking the game and buffing it? I mean, it was bad enough dealing with Ryujins. Then you have yourselves Mukins. Then you have yourselves Hell versus with Kokutos. And then now you have him, Byakuya. I mean, God. And then you have his exclusive, So the level 100 exclusive, attack all enemies with 200% growth rate, increase all allies' speed by 30% for 2 rounds, clear buffs from enemy assaulters, and gives the entire team Fury, 70 Fury with 100 exclusive. Now this guy has a pretty amazing exclusive. If you're trying to go for a balance-oriented lineup and not just assaulters, that's really solid exclusive. I mean, it gives everybody Fury. Another thing you should note is he gives 100 Fury to assaulters, which for Hellverse always skilling, he doesn't need Fury. But if he's after 100 Fury points, he will start getting percentage damage as well. So I guess this is kind of the excuse where you should start giving your Hellverse Ichigo Fury stones if you do get a Byakuya. Because my god, I mean, you'll get T1 on Hellverse, 100 Fury, and then Byakuya skills to give him 200. He will end up doing, I don't know how much Fury points it is. It's like for every 3 or 4 Fury points, it's like 1% damage. But Hellverse will be getting at least like a 30% extra damage boost alone from the Fury, so it's pretty scary. Then you have modifications. So immune to silence and Fury deduction. Pretty sure Toshiro casts silence. Just to double check. He has freeze and silence, I think. I don't know, I'm not seeing it. Attack all enemies. Freeze for 1 round. Reduce targets. I don't know. Someone has silence. I don't know. So I guess Toshiro just has freeze. I don't think he has silence. But then Byakuya is also immune to Fury deduction. So Kokuto does not counter him. He cannot be Fury dropped. And same goes for faster Toshiros. You can freeze a Byakuya, but you can't drop his Fury. So Byakuya is pretty much immune to, I would consider Kokuto and Toshiro being like the best supports in the game. You could argue the same thing with like Hashwald and like a couple others. But I would put Toshiro and Kokuto at the very top. This Byakuya ends up being pretty much immune to both of them and maintaining to be faster. But a faster Toshiro, or at least it's going to be hard to outspeed Toshiro's because of his him dropping enemy dropping enemy speed as a halo. So it's pretty dangerous. Then Byakuya's second mod increased own attack by 20%, add 35% speed to himself when being attacked. So now we start seeing these modifications like Kokuto. Kokuto was the first one, and this counts for Zanpakuto hits. So Kokuto is just the first one where it's like, and if he gets attacked, drop enemies' Furies. Even Zanpakutos do that. Now we're getting into the meta where all the upcoming characters will probably start having those. Byakuya, when being attacked, reduce all enemies' break defense by 40%. Now, evolutions and capped out break defense, people probably won't have more than like 96 to 100 break defense at most, unless you have a partner or something being able to give you extra break defense. So this makes it really dangerous for running block on your entire formation. When Byakuya drops everyone's break defense and you have 90% block, if they have like 50% break defense, give or take, it pretty much means that they're going to end up taking block hits from your team that has over 90% block, if they do end up getting some from evolutions or whatever. But that alone is scary. Then the fifth mod, increase block rate by 40% for assaulters. See, I have 90% block on my Ichigo. And if I had this modification, he would end up having 130% block. That's like Vanguard level. That's like Nozarashi's, when you take all his modifications off and put block in it. TSIs can probably hit like close to like 120, 130%. You make assaulters start having block as much as Vanguards do. And they have way higher attacks. So this freaking Byakuya enforces the assaulter meta to a new level. And then his sixth modification, after he attacks, he has 100% chance to increase assaulter's attack by 50% for 2 rounds. I just can't. This is gonna make assaulters so damn strong. And then his last modification, another one. See, the thing is, one is when being attacked, and one is when hit by anyone. So I'm trying to figure out if the fourth mod is also being hit by Zanpakutos, or if it's just gonna be partners themselves. Let me double check this with Kokuto, because probably somebody commented saying, see, not really, because actually no, there is a difference. I mean, you have when being attacked, generate 2 shields from Kokuto, and then when receiving damage, reduce all enemies' fury. So I guess that's the difference. I guess when it says when receiving damage, and then when being attacked. So I guess reducing enemies' break defense would mean... But then, since you have this in perspective, if the enemy supports skills... That's the thing about Byakuya. He doesn't do anything to the enemy besides hit them. He buffs your he buffs your assaulters. But he's not buffing your supports or your vanguard, and he's not doing anything to the enemy. No crowd control. So having him as a first position is really risky. I mean, he's not going to silence, he's not going to freeze, he's not going to stun, he's not going to chaos. None of that stuff. So you have him skilling first to boost your assaulters. Then you hope that a enemy support, let's take, I mean, you're going to have like Kokutos, but not really first positions. You have like Hash Waltz, which are pretty common to fight against, if not Toshiros. So you'll end up having that hit. So that's probably when any kind of skill hits your Byakuya, that's when that will probably take into effect. But there is the one hit by anyone, which is a 7th modification, which I believe is like Kokuto's mod. So even on a Zanpakuto hit, I think your allies will be healed by 30%. And it's every time he's hit, I think. I don't think there's a limit to this. Every single time there's some kind of AoE damage to Byakuya, as long as he gets tagged for 1 point of damage, he should be healing your entire team by 30% of either their own maximum HP or Byakuya's maximum HP. Like, wow. This partner is ridiculous. I mean, I kept saying how Byakuya had such a trash... There was just so many trash Byakuyas in this game, never making any of them good. And when they finally did an event partner, which was Gentle Byakuya, they made him beyond garbage. But they put this guy out. And, oh my god. So much happened. So much happened. They made this Byakuya, I believe him to be the most broken partner in the game, just because of the amount of synergy you can have. I mean, so let me put this into perspective, I guess. How should I do it? All right. Whew. Let's just first take a look at this Byakuya skill. I have to like rethink my life after witnessing all the stuff that Byakuya can do and take into account how he could work out. So here you guys go with a skill. It's pretty sexy, I'm not gonna lie. Skill animation is really nice. Also, they forgot his cape, and it was supposed to be the TLA Byakuya, but I did tell you guys, I think it was a video or two ago, that it ends up being the 1000-year Blood War arc Byakuya, without the cape, but he has the scarf. So, all right, let me put this into account. So the highest damage you can possibly get for Hell vs Ichigo with Byakuya would be, or at least Hell vs Ichigo period. It used to be Toshiro's freeze, because freeze makes them take 40% damage. Now, with Byakuya, I would replace Toshiro, put Byakuya into the team, and Byakuya will boost Hell vs Ichigo's attack by 50% upon skilling, which, if you take into the connection between Kokuto as well as Hell vs Ichigo, which Kokuto gives 40% attack and 40% damage rate. I'm pretty sure that the 50% attack boost to Hell vs. So okay, let me put this into perspective where I can show you guys. So right now, my Hell vs has 1.2 million physical attack. I need to bring out the calculator because this is gonna require NA maths. So it's gonna be a Halo in battle, so you'll never see it on the stats. But you take 1.2 million, and then you would do 40% of that. Becomes 480,000. So my Hell vs has almost 1.7 million physical attack in battle. Now, let's take 1.7 million. So he's going to be at default 1.7 million as soon as they're both in battle, before Byakuya even skills, Byakuya will boost his attack by 50%. So, there we have it. We do 1.7 million times 0.5 to get 850,000. And we add that to 1.7 million. And we reach my Hellverse at this moment with Byakuya's skill and a Kokuto that's alive will reach 2.5 million physical attack. 2.5 million physical attack. I should probably show this on the video. Okay, I never showed a calculator on the video. But anyway, you can see here, we start from 1.2 million. You do the 40%, you add that, you get 1.7. Do 0.5 of that after the skill. 2.5 million physical attack. And do you guys see that this Ichigo is just sitting at a very, very casual 1.2 million? That's like going up 1.3 million physical attack. That's just something. That is just, wow. 1.3 million. Isn't that something? And that is just all with the power of Byakuya. Now, if you take into 40% extra damage into account, I'm pretty sure that a physical or a skill hitting from 2.5 million attack hits, it's going to be way stronger than a 1.7 million hitting through an extra 40% damage from the freeze itself. So, that makes Hellverse Ichigo so scary. And the same thing goes to if you were to have a Mukin. Mukin has higher physical attack, or at least higher growth rate. So it's just like that. I mean, there's so much damage that can be done. My Hellverse is already doing 50 million crits, 20 million crits to top players or whatever. If I had a Byakuya, I don't even know. But the biggest downside to Byakuya would be abandoning Toshiro's freeze, so it kind of lacks my protection. And going at full on damage without crowd control, like, damn. But I really like the idea of Byakuya. So I will hopefully end up picking him up in the next couple of months. He's just crazy. Like, it really blows your mind when you think about it. He's gonna make Assaulter so much stronger. Same kind of thing applies with Mukins, except I don't think Mukin has any kind of super strong connection as far as modification goes. So I think Kokuto and Byakuya will make Hellverse way stronger than Mukins just because of that. But it doesn't mean that Mukin still will not be able to one-hit you. But this partner really enforces the whole Assaulter meta. And then I guess the Byakuya is supposed to come out next week, next event cycle, which I think we're getting like some kind of New Year's events. Like we're getting New Year's again. Getting another like set of New Year's events, which is gonna be, I don't even know. Yeah, like instead of Valentine's Day, they're gonna do another set of New Year's events, but my goodness. My goodness. But anyway, moving on to the actual video, because that was just a whole lot of stuff coming our way. I mean, this Byakuya is gonna bring out even more ridiculous damage. And then when it comes to the whole equipment change things, it's gonna be a mess. It's already a mess for the European side that has this change. I'm not looking forward to losing battle power. On the forums though, there is a list of ultimate battle power characters, and it's crazy. I mean, the game came out 2014. Came out like August 2014. I probably didn't start Bleach Online throughout sometime 2015, but it was amongst like those earlier servers I abandoned it. Then I started it again sometime in like servers 280 or something. And then this account on this server is March 2016. So it's definitely been a long time. This isn't all the Ultimate Battle Power partners that we had, exact at least. but it does cover most of them. I wonder what the future ones are gonna be. But it is just wow. The game is old. You know, just realizing it. The game is 4 years old now. That's just something. But anyway, to the actual video. So, last set of events, Yojimbo donated me the recharge. Now I want to thank him because I ended up winning Ultimate Charge with that 4K. So I ended up getting an extra 4K gold with 2 level 9 Spirit Stone boxes, a tier 12 Hogu, 50 Hogu enhances, also level 8 Spirit Stone boxes, and a whole bunch of goodies for being in first place. So it stacks up my gold. It puts me at pretty much, I ended up renewing my Shinigami agent. So I'm at 15k gold now. I assume that Byakuya is gonna be something crazy like a 40k partner by spending if they do it, or maybe even 50k on the first time he's out. Or they might do some kind of combination with recharging and spending. So I probably will not be able to get a Byakuya for a reasonable price, at least until maybe like Labor Glory, which is after Easter, so like April. Sometime April, we'll see Labor Glory. And that's probably when I'll expect to pick up Byakuya. The good thing about Labor Glory could be if they make Byakuya a featured partner over there, you can buy him straight up for like 40k gold and get 40k points out of it to redeem for another partner. But that's only if they end up making Byakuya featured. Since there is still like I think 5 more partners lined up, like Ginjo, Tsukushima, Askin, and like somebody else. There's still a lot of people that we can expect. So maybe they'll do partners monthly now. Who knows? There's also the Zanpakuto, Ichimonji apparently. So I don't know what we're gonna see in this game, to be exact. But that Byakuya, wow, he is some next level shit. I mean, I'm just going full on damage with my team. My goal is to end up one-banging every single Muken that lives in this game. And in order to achieve that, I will need to get Byakuya. And the amazing thing is that he also boosts speed by like 50% to assaulters. So I can like, my Hellverse would be reaching close to 1 million. And by the time I probably get Byakuya, I'll power him up to the point where he could reach 1 mil speed. It's a pretty, like assaulters get pretty damn fast. It's kind of scary. I mean, there's just, wow. Like, that Byakuya really makes me excited. I would like to try him out. But let us see what is. We got those Spirit Stone boxes to open. I did miss the first day of CSB. I give myself another level 12, which is another Warrior Seal. Alright, level 8 Spirit Stone boxes and level 9s. Dodge and hit, amazing start. Level 9 hit and crit, even better. Okay, I mean, it's free stones, but damn game. Could you not toss some wisdoms or strengths my way? Like, please. That's just too much. Let me just make room. The mochila needs to be empty. Can't be full. Alright. I got myself another. Like, wow. Where is this? So I got Warrior Seal on him. Jesus Christ, all these Warrior Seals. I mean, I really need to go for staminas then. Because I got all those tier 11 staminas. I really don't need any more physicals. My main doesn't do damage, so I don't care about giving him one. So I guess we transform it to a stamina. And I'll probably give this to... Like Hellverse, I need it so you can live through mutilates. Like stamina is also going to be a big important thing I need to go for. Need to survive through all those mutilates. But now I have like all of tier 11s and tier 12 staminas. Upgrading wise, can I max out? I can max out my quality 13. And get that wisdom fully done there. 95 to get this maxed out. But I got that maxed now. Probably going for... Like, I'll probably end up going for the agility one next. Just to get rid of this tier 11. And push it to Kokuto since my Hellverse has quite a gap on speed. between them two. So I'll be going for agility. Then when agility is maxed out, I will be going for staminas. I have 2 tier 12 staminas. If I ever get to the point, I will convert this warrior seal to another stamina. I need to have 2 staminas, one for Toshiro, one for Hellverse, and then one for my second support eventually. So I gotta start working on this agility one, which Kukaku has right now. I mean, I guess I could give it to Kokuto. I'm pretty sure he still won't be able to reach. Jesus, that I clicked the wrong one, but Jesus, his speed, like, how much speed did he get? 549, 688. So yeah, I can keep this on Kokuto, and then just swap it over eventually. So as far as how things are progressing, the Asashi changes, I don't think they're still relevant on our side. I only have 2,000 Asashi, so I wouldn't even be able to upgrade anything. But that Byakuya, I really want to get him into the team. Like, I would risk it. I wouldn't use Toshiro anymore. It's kind of dangerous then, because the freeze really helps out. But if I can balance out my Hellverse Ichigo a lot better and make him a lot faster, I think I could get away with using Byakuya. And it kind of sucks benching my Toshiro for Byakuya, but then I can finally use Void. I can finally use Void by Toshiro and see how that freezing thing works out, because I'm too lazy to swap everything over. I really don't want to do that. But I'll do CSB, because I have missed. I don't even remember the last time I did CSB. But geez, that Byakuya release, such a broken partner. And the fact that he also has a heal, so he's like full on damage with utility for assaulters, but ends up having a freaking heal. Like, geez. That's just something right there. Alright. Yeah, I honestly still can't imagine like how much damage that Hellverse will be doing. Still, so it just still amazes me how this game is going to enforce the assaulter meta. We went from supports to vanguards to assaulters, and since the whole release of Mukin, it's been like assaulter meta for life. I mean, Hellverse is literally the only way to combat Mukin without needing all the time. But when it comes to using Byakuya, I think I'm gonna need to end up using Kyoka Suigetsu for that. He will be fast enough to pull out, to make Region happen and give you the defense that you'll need to tank. But I do believe that you will need Kyoka Suigetsu, just because it will give so much more stats to your entire formation. It gives like 50% speed to supports. I'm not sure how much it gives to assaulters or whatever, but so overpowered. And the good thing about Kyoka is that it would be able to chaos Mukins. And I don't think anyone, at least when it comes to my CSB, has a Kyoka. I've slowly been working on it. I mean, I have almost 5k stones. There was no way I would end up getting Mukin because I already have Hellverse. So Kyoka would have been the only choice, even if it's just to mess around with it. But you can see here, like, geez, this thing gives 50% speed to supports. So it might end up giving like 30%, maybe even 40% to assaulters. Maybe even ends up getting 50% too, but fucking Kyoka is ridiculous. It also increases assaulters' attack by 15% and critical hit damage by 20%. So I don't think the assaulters' attack will stack with Byakuya's. I believe when Byakuya skills, this attack buff will get overwritten, since Byakuya's is 50%. But the critical hit damage buff is going to be there. That's something I didn't take into account either. So Kyoka Suigetsu, Byakuya, Kokuto, Hellverse, and I guess you would run Gerard just because of the defensive halo. Unless they do one of these new partners as a Vanguard, and it'll provide more damage boost or even better utility to the team. Gerard is the Vanguard choice. So with the gold I have saved up, it's going to be just going towards, like, what do I even use it for? I mean, Shinigami, or like 140 accessories, because I need to go for those when it's an ultimate arsenal. Shinji's gift box is one thing I'm recharging on. And then I guess the gold would go either towards a Gerard upgrade in the future, or it will go towards a Byakuya, which, geez, I mean, I would love to get that Byakuya, but I don't know. If he would end up being, like, the problem is I missed Ultimate Charge and Daily Bargain, and that was before I think we even knew what Byakuya could do. So my chances of stacking up over 30k gold to possibly buy a Byakuya is done with. It wouldn't be worth it at all for me to recharge during the next holiday event to pick up Byakuya, unless there's like some really good recharge event and he ends up being a spend and recharge. Like a 10k recharge, like, yeah, 10k recharge, 30k spend type thing, but I don't think we've ever had something like that. It was more like 20k recharge, 30k spend, or whatever it was. Which I wouldn't want to do, but yeah, nah, that freaking Hellverse Ichigo with Byakuya, my goodness, that would be some serious damage. I mean, it's for that reason that I just wouldn't need to worry about having Toshiro for the freeze protection. Because it pretty much just makes it so, yeah, I guess in that sense, not everyone's going to be able to outspeed a 1 million speed assaulter. You know, they might have one support who will be able to go first. Pretty much their first position would end up doing it. But I doubt their second or third would hit close to 1 million speed, unless they're super stacked and have way more power over me. Because then they probably have way better balanced stats for that. But Jesus, that freaking Byakuya, and let alone that would increase your damage, even in PvE. Like if we're not just talking about PvP like CSB, which was all I was talking about the entire video. But even in Void Region, I mean, if you could survive, jeez, if you could survive, that'd be something. For Void though, you could do a whole 20 rounds. I mean, if you're freezing with Toshiro, you wouldn't need a Vanguard, because they wouldn't be able to hit you anyway. So you could do 3 supports in the Hellverse. Have Kokuto, Byakuya, and have Toshiro to freeze. So no Kukaku, basically. And that'd be some scary shit. You'd be having such freaking ridiculous damage. My god. But this really needs... For me to use Byakuya effectively, I would really need to raise power a lot quicker. I need to raise more speed on Hellverse. I would also need to get more exclusives, because if I do drop Toshiro for Byakuya, I can't reach 70 exclusive just yet. So it kind of complicates things, because inheriting from 70 makes you lose out on maybe like 5 exclusive levels or a little bit more. So I need to get myself a couple of those. But wow, that's just a lot. It's a lot to understand right now. Just trying to... Oh, I just realized Furia has Hashwalt now. He was stuck with like Shinemu for a week or two. Now I see a Hashwalt. Okay, so now we have more interesting fights. Hashwalt didn't get frozen. Let's see how the team works out. He gets killed by Mutilates anyway. Okay, so same result. But like right now that I'm noticing, Kokuto, he got hit by the Zanpakuto and it's still activated, that being attacked mod. So it makes me believe that both of those modifications are any hits. Not even just getting hit by a partner. That's ridiculous. That Byakuya will be able to drop their break defense, increase your freaking block. My god. Damn. Finally a freaking overpowered... Like, it's not even... They finally did a good Byakuya, but they made a broken overpowered Byakuya. And upon every hit, you'll be healing 30%, so it's just... Wow. I don't know. So yeah, that's pretty much sums up the video. It goes from talking about the bad changes to the broken changes. Now, yeah, you need to realize that Byakuya's coming now. He's OP and awesome, right? But he does end up costing 40k, if not 50k upon release, probably. And that's not something everyone's going to be able to afford and get. And over time, you might see a couple, like a Byakuya pop up here and there. And who knows, maybe the next couple of partners could be even better than his Byakuya. But for now, we know he's a support, and we know what he does. We could look forward to all the other partners, but I would love to look forward to all that damage. And I guess the other problem with not using Toshiro is I wouldn't get lacerations going anymore. So yeah, Byakuya, I guess his only weakness is he has no crowd control. But if you can rely on your support or your assaulter to just clean up, you'll be set. That hash wall actually survives. Wow. Let's see what happens. I don't know if it's glitched and my Hellverse is alive or is he dead? No, he's alive. Jeez. Mukin like doubles his attack now, doesn't he? Yeah. Like, this is why the meta, you go from Mukins to Hellverses. Imagine a Byakuya on that team even boosting up the attack even further. That is just something, isn't it? And then we win this one, so... yeah, I don't know. Like, ditching Toshiro for Byakuya, that's like a super glass cannon dangerous move. It's definitely something I would do, though. But wow. Then that kind of puts all that evolution work on Toshiro to waste. Maybe I should stop doing evos on Toshiro and focus on Hellverse now. Since I probably will end up replacing Toshiro in the next couple of months for Byakuya, so I should at least focus on Hellverse Ichigo. That's just scary. If only I could make my Kokuto a lot tankier too. Like, I really hate how squishy and trash my Kokuto is. He just ends up getting killed by mutilates. If he could stay alive a lot longer, just to make my Hellverse get in 2 hits because of their link up from their modifications, it would really be nice. And I doubt I could beat this, but I'll buy a challenge chance. This freaking the last time I remember was this guy got that Gerard and put both Isanes in there, and it's just, yeah, nah. I want to see what happens. Physical attack would be enough to kill this formation though. Really does sound broken though. Oh, Kokuto fucks everything up, doesn't he? Yeah. Kokuto had to fuck up things. Combo rate, the worst part about partners for this kind of setup. Jesus, can't even hit. Well, I can't hit Valkyria or Mukin, but Jesus, that Gerard's Halo, so overpowered. My God, but that's gonna be it. That is gonna be it. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and you guys witnessed the upcoming changes. I wonder how you guys feel about that Byakuya. I think he's gonna be easily the most broken partner in the game. But that's all for today's video. Catch you guys next time.